Everybody, welcome to TCA. My name's Christian.
Good morning. I'm Andy.
Hey, Andy. Good
How you
morning.
doing? How you doing, Christian?
You know, doing good. Another exciting week here at Weinig Holz-Her USA.
It's good to be back. I wasn't on TCA last week. Good
That's
to be
right.
back.
That's right. Y'all missed Andy last week, but hopefully you enjoyed those Meet the Team videos that we gave you. So just to remind everybody, we are live, aren't we, Andy?
We are live. We're on Facebook. We're
That's
on
right.
YouTube. Later, we'll go record it on LinkedIn.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, so we're live. So if you're watching us this morning, drop us a line. Let us know where you're from. Man, I feel like I should have had a second cup of coffee this morning. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it is the TCA, Christian, and you
I know.
rarely have coffee up here.
I'm kind of dragging this morning, Andy. So I'll have to lean on you to.
That's okay. That's okay because this is a
push
big
along.
week. It's a big week, right?
It is a big week. Yeah.
We expected to have an announcement last week. That didn't happen.
for the AWF.
For the AWFS show, but we did get an announcement. If you guys are on the email list, or if you checked out the AWFS website yesterday,
Yeah.
there was an announcement and there were comments from several of the board members that the show will go on. So
Yeah.
it is official.
I have it up, Andy.
Okay, yeah, Christian, how about you read it for us?
Let me, I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing, but I'm going to read part of it. So AWFS posted and emailed yesterday saying, yes, the show will go on live and in person this July. The big old exclamation mark after that. The AWFS Fair will be the first major industry event to take place live and in person since 2019, which should just blow everybody's mind right there, right?
Yeah.
So then it says, according to Dan Hirschberger, who you guys probably know and love, as we do.
AKA the professor.
Yeah. Also, as the press release notes, AKA the Holzer Products Manager and AWFS Board President.
Yeah.
So Dan says, although we have been communicating with prospective AWFS Fair participants, letting them know that the show is moving forward as planned, we wanted to re-emphasize without a shadow of a doubt that the show will take place this July in Las Vegas.
Fantastic. Dan is actually watching. He's sort of trapped at home. There's a bridge repair that's going on that's keeping him from getting to Mooresville, but he's home watching. He's got the thumbs up there. We're glad to have someone here close by that's so closely tied to the show.
That's right. The press release goes on to quote a few other folks, including Brian Joyce, the VP of Sales over at Bloom. Bloom America, our neighbors.
Yeah,
right?
not far.
And he says, we know that there is a lot of excitement surrounding the show, and we encourage everyone to make their travel plans and prepare to see as many new products and technologies in the industry that has been unveiled over the course of the last 2 years. It is going to be a great opportunity for our industry to reunite, reconnect, and engage with innovation.
Absolutely. So that is one of the things that we've continued to talk on this program, and really just in conversations I've had with you guys out there. We're a very social industry. You know, we're a little bit of a niche industry. We're becoming a little bit of a niche industry when you compare us to automotive, aerospace, things like that. But we're very social. We like to get together. We like to discuss challenges. We like to discuss successes. We like to discuss all those things to make our business, to make our industry better. And this is the first time we're going to be able to get together in any sort of
in person, right?
In person. We've done some in-person stuff, but it hasn't been on this scale.
No, absolutely not. And I know a lot of folks in the industry that are doing smaller in-person events, whether it be regional events, association events, etc. And those are great, and there's absolutely a place for those. We are excited for the scale of the Vegas show, and we're excited to have machines running. And we're going to be making sawdust.
Yeah.
And we're going to
do it on new machines.
And we're going to be featuring some new technology, which is really the main thing that we want to talk about this morning on TCA. So we wanted to let you all know that yes, the show is happening. Yes, Weinig Holz-Her is all in at the Vegas show. We are excited about it. We will have machines under power, but even to take that to the next level, the technology that we're bringing to Vegas this year is going to be new technology, and we wanted to take some time this morning to tell you guys about what exactly that is, because we've been saying that for about a month now. It's like, yeah, we're going to have all these new machines, and we're going to be featuring new technology, and it's going to be all about the new stuff. But we thought that this morning we put some meat on those bones.
Right, and we can put it in perspective a bit. The announcement talked about how, you know, it's been since 2019 since there was a large event in our industry to show off new stuff. So there have been developments in machinery, I'm sure not just with our group, but for sure within our group. And so a lot of the stuff that we are going to show isn't necessarily, they're not, like, we're not bringing prototypes to the show, but they are machines that haven't been shown. It's technology that hasn't been shown on this scale since 2019.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So
and it's even more important now that, you know, we heard the announcement. Christian Pfeiffer was good enough to join us a couple of weeks ago to make the announcement that Ligna, you know, to explain why they had to cancel Ligna in Germany. And so that was the other very large show. There would have been some others in Europe this year, maybe some in Asia. This is the one shot that that our group has to show off some new technology. So some of the machines that they're even more excited. While many of our colleagues from Europe won't be able to join us at the show, they are excited that they will at least be able to show some new technology in our booth.
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to get, I think, Andy, I think the best thing to do this morning is I'm going to get our machine list up.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of go down the list and talk about each piece of technology that we're bringing to the show, what you guys can expect if you come out to Vegas and visit our booth. So let me get that up.
Oh,
and
we
now,
do have to. Let's also give a shout out to Andreas, who's watching in Germany. One of the colleagues that we would normally be excited to see coming to a show in the U.S. And I'm assuming that he's not going to be able to join us.
Oh, for Vegas.
Yeah,
yes,
for Vegas.
Yes. Yeah. So the first thing I just wanted to mention as far as new technology, the first new technology I want to mention is not a machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a machine. Well, it's kind of a machine. It's not a machine, though. It's our digital solutions.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we are going to have folks in the booth that will be able to demonstrate the Weinig Group's digital solutions. What I mean by that is a lot of you have heard of Via Cockpit, which is our app suite. You can put it on your phone, on your tablet. It's best for mobile use. It's best to be able to see machine statuses, notifications, preventative maintenance,
efficiencies,
yeah. Job information, all from the ease of an app.
Yeah.
This is a great technology that the group has been developing for, I would say, probably for the last few years. Now, and I say developing, and that was very intentional because just a couple weeks ago we had the new spring release of Via Cockpit come out, which included a complete, I don't want to say revamp, a complete, really just exhaustive overhaul of the notifications aspect of the app. We call it Via Notifications, and it is absolutely great. Our team in Germany is working, just continuing to work to develop Via Cockpit and build in these great features like Via Notifications. So anyway, we're going to be demonstrating that in the booth in Vegas.
Right, so it's like anything else, right? So we're seeing a lot of development, we're seeing a lot of new releases coming out, but it's like any other technology. Once we start to get a large user base, we start to get more and more people that are using it. We get more and more feedback on how it can be better. And so I think, I don't know, there are thousands of people that are using this around the world now. So getting that feedback into the group there in TBB in Germany, they are able to make some advancements and some enhancements,
which is exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And so we'll have people in the booth that will be there to talk about that. We've even done some things here stateside to enhance that, right?
We
haven't changed anything, but we're enhancing it to where we have some dashboards that Donnie's team's been working on here to be able to give you a nice visual representation as you walk through a factory in each at each machine, being able to just see a quick snapshot on a dashboard and on a monitor in the factory to see if the machine is efficient or not.
Right. So, most shops will have KPI dashboards, and that's basically what this is, but in real-time digital form.
Right.
And so we'll be demonstrating the KPI dashboards as well.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple things. We'll go into the machines in a second. Big shout out to Mr. Andy Dawson, who's watching. Andy, good to have you on the stream this morning. And all right. So Andy. Or Mr. Turner.
Andy Dawson or Andy or Andy Turner?
Mr. Turner, I should say. Let's start off. All right, so we're going to be showing a router in the booth, the Dynastic 7505 lift.
Yep.
First of all, what does it mean when we say lift?
So lift means that there's a scissor lift behind it.
Okay.
So that's where the lift comes from.
I gotcha.
So the reason that this is new is that in the 7505 range, our product range, we had the push version, which was the version that has the sweeper that pushes the parts onto the conveyor.
Okay.
And used in a lot of smaller shops that are trying to automate, but this was the first release of the lift version. We've had the lift version in the 7532, the next machine up, and we've had the automatic version in the 7532 that allows you to load onto the conveyor from a storage system. So now it is available on the 7505 to do both of those as well.
That's
so you
right.
can have the standalone, what people have started commonly referring to as feed-through machines. You know, you have a scissor lift with a unit of material, and it indexes up each time you pull a sheet off and you run it through the machine. And we can also have the 7505 connected to the conveyor that would go into the StoreMaster solution now. So we're excited about both of those offerings. We will be showing the lift offering at the in the booth in Las Vegas.
Now, the 7505 lift that you were referring to also has the auto outfeed, correct? Onto the conveyor.
Yeah, which isn't new because we had that with the push version. So you'll still be able to have the conveyor that pulls the parts off for labeling. On the conveyor before you
for labeling, for cleaning,
for labeling, for cleaning. There's extra dust collection there.
That's right.
But now you can you don't have to load one sheet at a time.
Right. All right. So so moving on. The next the next piece that I want to talk about is the Evolution 7405. Now we've brought an Evolution to every show that I've been to with the Weinig Group. So why is this one different?
Well, so you may have seen videos. If you haven't, you can prepare a little bit for this by seeing the video on the X-Cut.
The X-Cut, yes.
So we're going to have the X-Cut version. It's not brand new technology again, but we haven't shown it at a show in the U.S.
That's right.
I think maybe the only time it was shown is probably for the first time at Ligna in 2019.
Okay.
So if you were there, it won't seem brand new, but if you did not go to the Ligna show in 2019, it will be brand new. It's you'll notice a difference because on the in-feed side of it, it's a little larger because it's allowing for doing secondary operations. You can kind of process the first operation on the machine, send it back out, reorient it, have a secondary operation, things like that. So it has a larger in-feed side because it's used to.
It's not just for loading; it's for staging too. I guess
for staging, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next machine that I want to go into is not new. So this is kind of a trick question, Andy. The Sprint 1329, the edge band, the Holz-Her edge bander, the 1329 we're bringing to the show. We're excited about that. Not so much. Well, I shouldn't say it. We're excited to bring the edge bander.
We're always excited about a 1329. It's one of our leading selling models in the US.
It's a great edge bander. It will be at the show, but what we're most excited about is what's going to be attached to it.
We will have our return master that's built here in North Carolina connected to that 1329. So we're excited about that.
All right, Andy, what is the return master?
Return master is the return conveyor that's being built here.
That's right.
So we're excited about that. If you guys saw any of the live stream from the Next Level event, or excuse me, Retool, all the way back at Retool, right?
Okay, yeah, I think so.
The Retool event back last August that we did when we didn't have a show in the summer. We live streamed from MHD, our facility here in North Carolina, about an hour away, and actually in Connolly Springs. We refer to it as Weinig Hickory.
Yep.
But we showed the return conveyor and what it can do, and that was the first machine. That's the prototype. But however, it should be known that the prototype is working fabulously, and so we've continued to refine it. Make it look a little nicer and things like that. But we will have our production model of it at the show connected to the 1329. So we're excited about that.
So we're very excited about the Return
by and see
Master.
it.
Yeah, come
That's
by.
That's a reason to stop by. Everything we're talking about is a reason to stop at our booth.
The return conveyor. So the return conveyor will be in the booth. All right, we will have another router in the booth, but it's not a Holz-Her router.
That's correct.
So, Andy, tell us what is going to...
So we had hoped to unveil our relationship with Shota for larger machines
At IWF
last year.
Right.
Obviously, we all know that IWF didn't happen. And so we did show it on the Retool Tour briefly.
We did?
Maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I can't remember exactly
Something
how
like
long,
that, right?
how long we took. And we even had Mr. Kenzo Akuno from Shota to talk a little bit about it. Kenzo will also be at the show in Las Vegas, and we're excited about that. But you will be able to come up and watch the machine run.
That's right.
Live and in
machine,
person.
correct?
Twin table machine, dual path, meaning it can do, because it has twin tables, it can run separate programs on each table, or you can lock the heads together to do 2 down and pendulum process that way, or you can do separate operations. So maybe the first head does a shaping operation, the second head does a profiling operation. One's cutting it out, one's putting a profile on. You can use the separate heads for that. Each head has their own tool changer. So we're excited about that. It's got the newest FANUC control, the Zero-i MF Plus, and apparently the Plus is a really big deal. There's some features that are available on the Plus that aren't available on other controls, and so we're excited to bring that to the Vegas show.
Yeah. Well, again, all these machines are running. They're making sawdust. We're making parts on them. So we're excited.
We have one
about
more
that.
CNC that we're excited
We
about.
do. We have one more CNC.
That is from Holz-Her.
Yeah. So we have the new Holz-Her Epicon. So that is, it's I guess you would call it a point-to-point machine, or a horizontal CNC for you Europeans out there, I guess, who call it that. Yeah, it's a great it's a great new machine that we're very excited about, and it is very new.
It's very new. So if you look at it, if you were to Google it and look at it, you may not notice unless you start to read about it. But it is the first point-to-point, what they call a console machine with the pod and rail. It's the first machine from Holz-Her in that range that has a closed gantry. So it is not only it's not only supported on both sides, but it's driven from both sides. So this gives you the ability to do some to get some more accuracy, right? I mean, as accurate as if you've seen the point-to-point machines from Holz-Her, the gantry, I'm from the CNC world, and the gantry is incredibly heavy, but even, it's you have the leverage limitation, right, when you're reaching all the way out away from your support on the back side of the machine. So this is going to allow us to have a little more accuracy. And it's going to be nice. We're excited to show it off.
Right. So we'll also be bringing the Cube Plus to the show.
Oh, yeah.
So the Cube Plus, I guess
Christian knows a lot about the Cube Plus.
So the Cube Plus is not super new. I guess you could say the Cube has been a great profile, or a great 4-sided planing machine that in the Weinig group for years now. But the Cube Plus is we're chalking it up as new because I feel like here in the U.S. in the last 2 years, we've kind of had a Cube Plus rebirth, haven't we?
Well, we had the Cube, right?
We did have the Cube, right?
So the Cube was shown at shows in the Holz-Her booth, in the Weinig Holz-Her booth years ago when it first was released. But this is the Cube Plus.
Right. So it is new in that regard, but it's also new because I think that we have been able, with the group has been able to really make the Cube Plus be what it ought to be, which is a very small footprint, easy to use, safe, reliable 4-sided planer.
Right.
It's great for S4S'ing. The setup, I don't even like to call it setup because it's really not setup. You touch a few buttons on the controller and you're set up for whatever size you need to be set up for, and it's a great machine. It'll be in the booth for Vegas. We have a lot of videos on the Cube Plus as well.
We do. We've got some with our marketing director running the Cube. So it obviously it's pretty easy to run. But obviously the other interesting thing about the Cube Plus is that this is 2 years ago while we were at the Vegas show, we started having lots of conversations about perhaps we should start to have some input in what was coming to North America on machines. So this was one of the first machines that while we were at the show 2 years ago, because we did have a lot of our colleagues from Germany in the booth with us, and we were able to discuss what the cube, at the time, the cube needed to be in order to bring it to the U.S. market. And, and so a lot of the features that are available in the Cube Plus are things that the feedback we were getting from you.
From the U.S.
Yeah,
from the U.S. market.
As to what should be on the machine. And I mean, all the way down to, after we got it configured right, we were able to get the pricing where it needed to hit in the market. And so it was very exciting. Actually, we took orders for the new configuration there before it actually even existed, right? Because the market was so excited about it. And we've continued to improve on that.
So definitely a lot of excitement about the Cube Plus, and any of the some of our Weinig product specialists who may be watching out there, they know this machine really resonates with a lot of small shops out there. All right, but we're going to move on. So let us move on to the P50.
Oh,
so, yep, another Weinig molder that we're bringing to the show, the Profimat 50. So it's new. There's videos that we've done on the P50, but Andy, tell us. We're bringing a 6-cent spindle to the machine. I'm fairly certain that we're.
Yeah. That is true. And basically, the P50 is kind of the German version of what we were bringing in, and it's still available. You guys that have Unimat machines that come from the Yantai facility, we can absolutely still get them. The challenge right now is that our governments are struggling to get it. I assume they're getting along, but there are some tariffs that are in place that make that machine a little more expensive. So
the machine from
Yantai,
Yantai, China,
because of the tariffs that are the duties that are applied to machines that come from China.
So therefore,
the P50 is more of an entry-level machine that is available, that comes right out of the factory in Germany. So we're excited about that. If you guys want to see it and see the how familiar you are with it, if you've got machines from Germany. Also, how familiar you might be with it if you've got a machine from Yantai, right?
Absolutely.
And so they've tried to. We didn't want to abandon that program for sure, because it was a good program. It's just that it fits a nice spot right now where we're basically the Unimat machines are 25% higher right now than they used to be.
Yeah. But the P50 fills a gap.
Yeah.
It's a great entry point to Weinig profiling. It actually is the best entry point to Weinig profiling. I mean, it's a great first step for smaller shops out there wanting to get into their own profiling in-house. The machine is, like Andy said, the machine is made in Germany. It's got all the quality that the Weinig Group is known for built right into it. So another solid wood processing machine that's new that we're bringing to the show is the OptiCut S50 Plus. So Andy, what is it now? We have been selling S50s for quite some time. So what's different about the S50 Plus?
So the S50 Plus is very similar to the program that we had. We talked before about the X-Cut Evolution.
Right. Yep.
So the first time that it was shown was at the Las Vegas, or excuse me, the Ligna show in 2019, and it actually it went off really well. The S50 Plus is going to kind of start to bring some of the technology from the S90 down to the S50 size machine. So it's going to be, you can still get an S50. The S50 Plus is a little bit more expensive, but it's not the same as jumping to the S90 and you get some of those capabilities, some of those functionalities. You can get it with a sort line, for example, off the end of it. The one we're going to bring is more of a space saver, where it has an outfeed that's more of a single piece outfeed that just brings the pieces off to the operator, so you're not trying to catch them. But so it's come by and check it out. It's hard to explain. I'm not sure that I've seen another chop saw that has an outfeed like what we're going to show. So.
Yeah, the machine will be so the machine is new and will be on display. So a couple things. I'm not going to go through we are bringing more machines than what we've just said, but we're already kind of going long on TCA here. So we are also bringing obviously machines from our grinding catalog. We're bringing an Easy Stop, a vertical panel saw, another bander. So there's
going to have a Kundig that
yes,
that
we'll
was supposed to debut at Atlanta last year with some of the new features on the Koenig Sander.
Yep.
Obviously, that didn't happen, so that will be in the Vegas show.
That'll be there as well.
Yep.
So in addition to all the new stuff that we've talked about this morning, we will have some of our staples there as well. Again, we are all in on this show. We're excited.
And you definitely want to come by because we're going to try to have some fun this year.
We are. We're going to have some fun. So I think what I want to do, Andy, is we'll prime the pump a little bit this morning.
We're going to tease you a bit.
But next week we're going to continue our conversation about AWFS next week. So make sure you tune in next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Facebook, YouTube, live, just like you are right now. But make sure you tune in next week because we'll be going kind of over what to expect when visiting our booth at the Vegas show besides the machinery.
Right.
Because like Andy said, it has been 2 years since we've had a show. We're going to Las Vegas. We're excited about it. Might as well have some fun too. Right. And we want you guys to have fun with us at our booth. So next week, we'll go more into what that entails. You don't want to miss it. It'll be very exciting. We might even do a couple giveaways on TCA.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Also, be prepared. We're going to have the desk at the TCA in the booth.
At the Vegas show, we
will.
Vegas show, we will.
And we will not only do we want to give you some daily reports on what's going on at the show, talk about what's going on in the booth. We'll do some live streams, some demonstrations for those of you who aren't quite ready to make the trip out. But we hope to also talk to some customers. If there's some
Absolutely.
people, if there are show people that want to come on to have discussion, if there are customers that want to talk about what they're seeing in the industry, that's what we like to do. You've seen our TCAs on site where we go to customers' locations and see how they've weathered the storm, find out more about what they're doing differently, and in many cases they've pivoted to doing something they've never done before. We'd like to know more about that. So if you're at the show, you see us, you're going to see the desk in the middle of the booth. Come find Christian or I, and let's set up a time to talk to you. I'd like to know more about how you have weathered the storm, and in many cases pivoted. We'd like to know more about that.
Absolutely. All right, so that's going to wrap us up for this week's TCA. Again, make sure you join us next week, 9 a.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll be here. We'll continue our conversation about what to expect when going to the AWFS show this year in July in Las Vegas. All right?
Very good. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you
Have a great
all.
rest of the week. I am heading to the airport.
Oh, yeah. Andy's traveling this week, but he'll be back next week for TCA, so it's all good. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next week.